Thank you for being here. I'm very, very honored to open this day. It's a great opportunity for me, of course, to do some music for you, but also for me to discover all this beautiful new Levant culture.
The new Levant initiative shall embark today on a voyage into a past of momentous Levantine times, in the hope that they might move us to build a better future together.
How would you define the Levant, geographically and in a broader cultural sense?
The Levant is a concept of multi-identities, a certain attitude that is not trapped in one race or one religion or one state. The original meaning of Levantine was anybody living in the Levant.
I like to think of it as a set of constellations, all these different centers.
The politics of the region have divided us. And I truly believe that geography will bring us back together. Mountains, rivers, valleys. But I also mean culture, I also mean connectedness, and I mean the history of that geography.
History is a way to find alternate modes to understand who we are and how we can exist together and the kinds of environments we can construct.
During the decade before the Arab Spring, the integration move, which was tremendous during those days, the increases in trade and investments, cross-borders activities, financial flows between the countries in the Levant was happening despite difficult political situations. In the reconstruction of those societies, we will have to adopt a more participatory, more open, more inclusive political and economic system.
Over the next decade, economic integration could add roughly $500 billion in new economic activity. This is money that will go to the people, that will go to new businesses, a lot of opportunities for investors to take advantage of this.
Because of the terrible damage that occurred in our region, there is no way forward but through integration.
Indeed, when we look at trade complementarity index worldwide, we see that the index levels in the Levant are comparable to those countries that historically formed economic integration in the past, such as the EU.
I'm here to present Diverse Levant, an online mapping platform that illustrates the urban evolution of Beirut over its entire history, as well as across its social, cultural, and religious diversity.
We just performed for you a Samai, which is a traditional form that we play all the way from Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, and Egypt. So this is a common form.
By itself, not much of anything, like a typewriter we're playing music. Well, other parts of it. I don't want to just show off our display, okay?
Right. This rhythm, again, all my life I thought it was Iraqi, but then I met a friend of mine, an Iranian musician, who started playing it, and he told me, oh, this is an Iranian rhythm. I told him, hang on, I thought it was an Iraqi rhythm. And then the conversation started. Then again, with a Turkish musician, and they have a close enough rhythm. I said, where is this rhythm really from?
The word tarab really here is the key word for today. Tarab epitomizes, encapsulates the emotional dimension of Arab music, the music we will play today. The best translation probably for tarab is ecstasy, for lack of any better translation, but it implies that people go into a sort of a state, a hal, in Persian call it hal, means state, and they go into an extraordinary form of transformation when they hear the music.
I consider myself like an ambassador to the Lebanese cuisine. Keep our customs, our heritage in different aspects. The food is definitely a very important aspect.
There was just a certain kind of security knowing my heritage. I learned very early on from my mother, who would tell me that she'd be in the souk with her Arab neighbors, touching shoulders, shopping for spices, shopping for ingredients, all friendly, all cohesive. And that started me off on understanding the communicative powers of food, the language, the vehicle.
Mjadara is one of the first things you eat as you're growing up. It's the first things that somebody learns how to prepare at home.
Yep.
How could you take away from the simplicity and the perfection of rice, lentils, caramelized onions, and from some spices? So that's a fantastic testament. And Mjadara doesn't care who you are.
The art of the contemporary Levant is this capacity to be able to talk to global culture, but keeping in it also all these specificities of the Levant about coexistence and living together and tolerating each other.
I never wanted to be an Egyptian artist, and I've been battling with this since I was at school, because I think just putting like a region where you come from, or a race or a religion on somebody is very limiting.
The New Levant initiative will continue its efforts to remind Levantines of their rich heritage so they can inspire them to build a better future. Together, we continue on this journey to revitalize Levantine identity.